Okay, this is the American bullfrog. It is in the phylum Chordata. It is a vertebrate, and it is in the class of Amphibia. If you take a look at the bullfrog here, right now it is this kind of greenish brown color. That's how most of them come. If you take a look on the other side, it has a lighter color. The reason that is whenever the bullfrog that lives in fresh water is in the water and a predator or something like that is looking up, it kind of resembles the sky. It's a lighter color, and then whenever it's on the bottom and something's looking down at it, it kind of resembles the ground. So it's kind of a thing of camouflage that it has. Something interesting about the frog's skin is it does air respiratory through its mouth and through its lungs, but it also takes in a lot of oxygen through its skin as well. And it also absorbs most of its water through its skin, and that's how it gets its oxygen instead of actually through its mouth. And so the frog has to produce this mucus so that those pores don't get clogged up, so it doesn't get suffocated.
Alright, so here you have the mouth of the bullfrog. Here, right here at the roof of the mouth, is the internal nostrils, which conduct air into the mouth from the exterior nostrils. Immediately to the nostrils is the vomerine teeth, which are used for holding the prey. From there you have the tongue of the frog, and it's used for catching the prey. And at the very back of the mouth here, you have the esophagus, which conducts food through the anterior body cavity to the stomach. Okay, so as seen as the mouth, here's a better representation of the esophagus here. Here in the back, right here, we have the stomach, which is a sac-like that stores food. This stomach narrows and becomes the small intestine, which is right here. The small intestine then merges into the shorter, larger intestine, which is here. I can get a better representation of it, which is this stuff right here. And then that opens up and goes down into the cloaca, which is the opening. Here we have the three-lobe liver. Gland is the largest gland in the body. The liver produces the bile, which makes fat dispersible into water. The bile is then transported out of the liver into the gallbladder, which is here, which concentrates and stores bile.
Okay, if you come underneath here, you'll see this black bead-like appendage on the frog. That's actually the spleen. What the spleen does is it creates something called macrophage cells. What macrophage cells do in the body is they go around and they eat old red blood cells, platelets, and bacteria. So this is what the frog has to help kind of filter out some of those dead cells and dying cells. If you look at this red stuff right here, these are the fat bodies. The fat bodies are used by the frog in one way for mating. Big frogs have a lot of fat bodies, which they can use to scare off other frogs and to attract other mates. It's used for hibernation whenever it gets cold. Having a lot of blood rush into these fat bodies all around the body will allow the frog to stay warm in the cooler weather and water.
These are the lungs for the frog. The lungs add oxygen and remove waste gas. Also known, they use carbon dioxide. This is done in conjunction with the circulatory system.
Okay, so here we have the heart of the frog, which is the main component of the circulatory system. The frog has 3 chambers, 2 atria, and a single ventricle. The atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the blood vessels that drain various organs to the body. The right atrium supplies blood to the body. The left atrium accepts the highly oxygenated blood from the pulmonary veins, and the ventricle pumps blood throughout the body. This pumps blood to the head. This right here pumps blood to the rest of the body, and this pumps blood to the lungs and skin. Okay, so here we have the kidney of the frog. The kidney functions in the excretion of hydrophilic substances such as ions, water, and other nitrogenous wastes. In amphibians, a small portion of the waste is removed through the skin. The waste leaves the body in the form of urea and ammonia. Here we have the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder waste in the form of the urea and the ammonia is stored in the urinary bladder until it is released into the external environment through the opening of the copula, which is here.
Here we have the frog, the gonads. In this frog, it's going to be a male. Here we have the testes, here, and then it goes down to the cloaca. The testes produce sperm and the hormone testosterone. Here we have the frog's tympanic membrane, or also known as a tympanum, is the circular patch of the skin behind the eye. Behind the eye is here, and it's behind it here. It functions more like an eardrum. The tympanum transmits sound waves to the middle and inner ear, allowing a frog to hear both in the air and below water. In addition, this membrane serves to keep water and debris from entering the frog's ears, such as the American bullfrog we have here. The gender of the frog can determine the size of the tympanum relative to their eye. The male's tympanum is larger than its eye, and in the female, it's the equal size. So you can see here, it's a little bit bigger than the actual eye here. Here we have the nostrils, one here and one here. They're also known as the olfactory nerves. They're sensitive to smell. It allows the frog to smell certain prey or certain predators in his environment. The receptors are located in the nostrils, what allows it to smell. These are the eyes of the frog, and they connect to the optic nerve to the brain. They give visual impulses from the eye to the optic lobe. Here's the central nervous system of a frog. The frog's central nervous system is made up of two organs, the brain and the spinal cord. The brain is contained in a bony structure known as the brain box or cranium, and it protects it from external shocks. Brain of a frog consists of. There are three parts of the brain: the olfactory lobes, the cerebrum here and here, the optic lobes here. Optic lobes for eyesight. Olfactory lobes are for the sense of smell and have receptors for smell. The cerebrum is for the brain. The cerebrum helps the frog maintain balance and equilibrium of the frog.